Morning. I'm just walking to the markets and I'm listening to some music, and the first song is Ask Me Anything by the Strokes. And the first lines are, right or wrong, what to do, someday it will come to you. And that was enough to inspire me to make a video, plus the temple looking beautiful as it always is, and the sunshine on the back of my head, and some birds making noises. I couldn't just ignore the world and not express my gratitude and joy out about it. And use that opening line as a topic. Right, wrong, what to do, someday will come to you. That's true. Now, as children, we get taught what is right and what is possible and what is probable and what is real and legitimate and what is acceptable, what is not. But then throughout the course of our lives, we become independent people, and through our experiences learn for ourselves what is acceptable, what resonates with us as a righteous, truthful action, and etc. We become more in tune with our own sense of moral dignity. I don't know, moral awareness. Wow, that was a scary sound. Some girl crying on the front of the scooter. Sounded like a pig getting murdered in one of those murder factories. And so this topic, what to do, like, good morning. Check her out, she's a recycling queen. Right, wrong, what to do, someday it'll come to you. Once we recognize certain moral standards in ourselves, points in ourselves, parts of ourselves that will accept certain things and not accept certain things. Once we recognize things to be okay and not okay, whether or not we have this whole discussion about some strange number just called me in the middle of that video, and nobody can call me because I didn't give anybody my Taiwanese number. But I got to answer the phone and say, wait. And then they said something which I assumed meant, oh, sorry, wrong number, see you later. Oh, the door's shut. I was basically going to get to the point where, at this place, behind that door that's shut now, there's a dog. A dog lives there. Now the people live over there, but they keep the dog here in the workshop, and it's a very small dog. It's like maybe... They just tried to call me again. Anyway, this dog that lives here, yesterday we were walking past, took a stroll to go and have a nice walk in the sunshine. And the dog is always in there, and the door is open, and the dog is chained up and has like maybe turns out the adamant caller was my wife, and she was probably just thrown off by the fact that I answered by how I answered the phone in Chinese and said wait. She would have thought, oh, that's not my husband. Anyway, back on track. So this dog yesterday was chained up more harshly than usual. Hello, look at that. Hey. So that's the dog that usually barks its fucking guts out when the gate is shut, right? Now that the gate's open, I don't give a fuck, man. Hey, good morning. Nice to be sharing this freedom with you, man. Totally, that's the vibe. Anyway, this dog yesterday was chained so tightly. It's usually chained, the chain comes down from some fixing point on the wall, like at this angle, so the dog can walk around a little radius. It's up. Whee! Happy guy. But yesterday, the fixing point was higher and the chain was pulled tighter, so that the dog had maybe like a 10 centimeter radius. But it was so tight that the collar was holding the dog's neck up. So the dog had to always be like pushing upwards off the ground to stop itself from passing out and choking. And it looked like the dog had been in this position for quite some time, because it was just it looked exhausted and tired and dismayed. And initially I thought, man, I'm gonna take a photo of this and then get the photo printed and then leave the photo at this house so that whoever owns this dog can see the photo and then be like, what the fuck, who saw that? Oh, I better be a better dog owner. But then my wife had a better idea, and we sort of just waited around. I just went inside and unchained the dog and chained it up to something on the ground so it could walk around. And then this guy came out from the house next door and was the owner. And so it was funny. I was coming out of his workshop, having just moved moved the dog to a more comfortable position. And then he saw me coming out of his workshop and started talking to my wife. And she started asking him all these questions about the dog. Is that your dog? Like blah, 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 blah. And so after all of that, she was telling me about it. And he was saying, while I was watching him and listening while they were talking, and I got this impression, whether or not I had this preconceived like expectation, that this guy is a lying sack of shit. So then apparently he takes the dog for a haircut and washes him once a week, and the dog just rocked up on his doorstep one day and he took him in and started feeding him. And he never used to keep him on a chain, but then he would go out and come back covered in blood, getting in fights with bigger dogs or something. And then one time he never came home at all and had to go find him, and he was hurt somewhere, injured. And so he's just trying to do the best thing for the dog, and like, fuck, he's got water and he's got food and whatever. But I look at this dog and it looks like it's been like licking motor grease and oil. Like, I saw him licking and there was some black shit on his tongue, like maybe he hadn't had anything to drink for a day or something. I don't know, man, but this human justification, like, it's the best, it's the only thing. Like, my hands are tied, like, if I let the dog be free, the dog gets fucked up, so I got to keep the dog on a chain. And I thought, well, you should fucking give the dog away. This is what I was thinking afterwards. In this situation, the best thing to do, give the dog to somebody who can be fucked, somebody who's going to take the time to care for the dog and treat the dog like a family member. Because your fucking obligation, if you're going to claim like title of an animal, is to every single day, every single moment, think about that animal and think about, would I like to be in its situation? What would I like to do if I was that animal? So if you wake up in the morning and you see your dog and it's sitting there going, and you think, if I was that animal, I'd like to go for a walk right now with me, its companion, then you should take that dog for a walk. Go for a walk, go for a stroll. Be with the pet, be with the dog, be with the family member animal thing. But if you're going to have this thing just sitting in the fucking corner, like getting choked out every day, then you're a shit cunt. There's no two ways about it, really. There's none of this, oh, man's best friend, it's subservient, loyal, whatever, fuck that shit. This is a creature of its own. Like, it's got its own skills and abilities, its own wants and desires, its own needs, blah, 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 blah. If you're not respecting the sanctity of other lives, then that will be done to you. That same lack of respect will be applied to your life itself. Which is interesting, because then it's sort of just jumping right into that karmic cycle, jumping in, playing, buying into whatever. It's a tough one, but not really. It's pretty fucking simple. Don't be a shit cunt to animals, to human animals, to four-legged animals, to six-legged animals, to 20-legged animals. Be a compassionate, nice fellow. You don't have to be a nice fellow, just be compassionate inside. If you carry a respect and gentle kindness towards all living things, that's enough. You don't have to go around shouting merriment and fucking peace, love and tranquility. So long as you carry that inside and apply it to things around you, to the living beings we share this place with, Alright. So do that. You're free to go.